Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the rainbow that's in us, the rainbow that we see outside of us, and how each color is important. And we're going to get into like polarization and, how each of the points of the color of the rainbow are important. To be functioning, usable, applicable for us to navigate through life using all of the spiritual tools, guidance, and everything that is available to us in order to manifest, create, and then experience and expand and grow from each and every one of those experiences that we have. In the meantime, I was talking to an individual, which is why I'm late, you guys. I'm a little sorry. But I want to bring up something very interesting that this is somebody that I mentioned the other day that I see counsel from. And basically, I was just trying to give him a sum up of what his counsel led to and how everything has fallen perfectly into place. In the meantime, he gave me a very interesting story. So I want to start out by sharing that. Although I think this person in whom I speak with doesn't know how much I'm actually listening to what they are sharing, he brought up something very fascinating, and it is actually applicable to what we're going to go through today. And that is with our spiritual gifts, abilities, growth, gaining mastery, and getting back into the basics here of what we're trying to talk about as we learn, glean, and grow from one another. He gave me a story about Buddhist monks. And the Buddhist monks were the teachers. Well, instead of allowing the students to learn and not only meet the mastery of the Buddha, sometimes you know how it goes, that students can surpass the teacher depending on their humility and how they treat others. The ample portions that we get of the gifts glean and grow based on how we treat others, how we look at others, and all of that, amazing stuff. So what happened was the Buddha, the Buddhist monks who were the teachers actually had to come down from their platitude, be humbled, which we know in the spiritual realm is very, very possible. And they ended up having to listen to the students, following their commands. Again, although they had mastery, that mastery was not going to grow, expand, or go any further as they thought they had mastery and used it to lord over their students instead of raising them up. What a beautiful story of an analogy of humility. And it goes along with the rainbow that is within us and that we see reflecting out around the world. Earlier, which I talked to somebody that's in another country, they have furnished me with an image that they took with double rainbows, and then it has like stormy looking clouds, a dual rainbow, and then it has this beautiful white clouds with this blue patch just beaming through. And I'll share that with you guys soon, because he has given me permission to share it, but not today. And I'm going to give you some information about this gentleman that's been actually studying the Schumann resonance, and not only studying it, he's able to see and read the codes from it, and is able to share and show that to all of us. I call it light language, the language that is coming down, and resting upon all of us as we are gaining, gleaning, and expanding in our awareness. Okay, I have a couple slides that I want to present to you guys, and we're going to go through them. Let me say hello to everybody that's here. Hello, Doc Michael, Kevin T, Dead GPK, Voynich, Kevin T, YOLO X. Welcome, welcome. I know this is an early one, but they've either got to be really early or really late. And Voynich, please do not say anything about how much I sleep. Please, don't tell him. Don't tell on me. Okay, let's get into the slides that I want to show you, and the beautiful. Now you can see behind me this image. Now this to me is a Mandela effect because the red used to be on the bottom. Do you guys remember rainbows used to be red on the bottom, purplish on the top? I do. So this to me was a huge change when the rainbows flipped. But needless to say, the rainbow flipping has a significant meaning, which I'm going to show you with the what we would call chakra points, or some would call it a Kundalini awakening, others would call it a Holy Spirit baptism. A purification, an alignment, a cleansing that goes on within us, opening us up for that vortex to flow out and around us. And how when we are humbled with the gifts that were given, the portions were given at the beginning, that it expands out for your sphere of influence. The love that radiates up, out, and around you towards your brothers and sisters. The area of your encompassment of whom you will touch, it expands bigger and bigger. Each test that comes our way, or each situation, based on how we handle it, is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so let me get into some of these slides that I've got for you. I'm gonna, in order to show you guys the slides, I'm gonna have to move myself out of the way and everything else so you can see it. Let me move this down. Okay. Now, okay, we are looking at the chakra chart. Okay, we're looking at the 6, the basic. No, this is, I'm sorry, 7. The basic 7. I've got a 7th, which we're all aware of the 6. When we talk about gut instincts and intuition, or that person gives me a weird feeling, that's your intuition. That's coming from, within, giving you that inner guidance, that inner gnosis, that, you may be needing to, put a little guard up around somebody. And so, we need to learn to follow that. But let's start at the bottom. The base, it's red. It's your first chakra point, and it's the I am. Then we got the sacral, it's orange. And it's the second, it says I feel. The solar plexus is yellow. It's the third, and it's I do. Heart is green. Fourth, I love. Throat is blue. It's the fifth, I speak. Third eye, indigo. Sixth, I see. Crown is violet, and it's the 7th, I know. And we know from the Bible, it says, let no man steal your crown, right? So where, we hear these different sayings, we know these different things, called different things in different ancient texts, hieroglyphs, or different teachings. And we think of them as being completely polar opposite and separate, but they're not. But again, what I want you to look at here is a rainbow. There is a rainbow starting from the bottom all the way up. And when you were looking at the rainbow image I was showing you, the red was at the top going down to the purple. These are meant to be all in alignment, all colors active, not trying to be polarized, thinking we need to stay from the green to the blue to the indigo to the violet, because we are totally neglecting the solar plexus yellow, the sacral orange, and the base red. All are important to flow in conjunction with one another in order for us to have a full experience here, as we are here to grow, expand, experience, and glean. Okay, now I want to show you the one that has 8 chakra points. You'd be fascinated to know there's actually much more, but I want to try and keep this pretty simple, just touching on the basics, so that way we can flow with this understanding together about being walking rainbows. Okay, now again, the first is the root. It's the physical or survival. It's your, your base for Earth and how we gauge things here. The second is a spleen. It's sexuality and creativity and clairsentience. Who would have thought that clairsentience came from one of the lower chakras? The third is the solar plexus, personal power, energy, and distribution. The fourth is your heart, compassion, love, affinity. The fifth is your throat, expressional, communication, clairaudience, and telepathy. The sixth is the brow, intuition, spiritual nature, clairvoyance. The seventh is the crown, connection to God, goddess, knowing, and let's see, what does that say there? Transcendentalicitus. You guys can see it, read it for yourself. Sometimes the letters jumble. You guys understand that with after my accident that I had when I was 15. Sometimes the letters get a little bit blurry and confusing. And now here we go. The eighth. A lot of people talk about Holy Spirit, higher self, and such things. Eighth, soul star or stellar gateway. Talking to your higher self, talking to the spiritual realm, being connected through the eighth is, we get that inflowing, and it flows through and up and out as we are walking rainbows in this place as we create, we manifest, we experience, we expand, we grow. And at the same time, we keep our sovereignty, our uniqueness, our beauty, and everything that comes along with respecting each other, not trampling or trotting another down, and allowing each other to be able to create and manifest and experience. We overlap each other with our rainbow fields. And sometimes we can have what we would call a group manifestation, where we all take part in a certain action or activity, and therefore, what do we learn? What do we take away from that situation? What is the information? What was the test? Or what was the joy? I mean, it can go either direction, but it not being thinking that if I'm of a lower chakra or active in my lower chakras, that my vibration is lowering in any form. It's not. Actually, to have the highest vibrational activity is to be operating fully as the rainbow that you are, optimizing highs, lows, colors, notes, sounds, vibrations, frequencies, experiencing, the manifestations that you're also could be co-creating with those around you. It is such a beautiful and profound understanding. There's no longer something that is judged, but is something that is a learning experience, a test. And sometimes we feel, hang on a second. Yes, I'm smoking a cigarette. Sorry, guys. Sometimes we feel like we don't want to go to those low lows because we feel like it's lowering our vibration, or and things like that. But if we're doing that, we're kind of shutting ourselves off to growth, because those low lows help you reach your higher highs. So I gave the example a long time ago. I was homeless for over a year. Well, by being homeless, I am so grateful for a roof over my head. It's Without the experience that I had with lack, I couldn't appreciate the abundance. And again, we deal with different people from different cultures, countries, religion backgrounds, all different assortment of people. And I'm telling you, we have something to offer to one another equally in such balance and in such beauty that we do not ever want to polarize or try, because what happens when we polarize? We judge. And when we judge, we're pointing one finger at them and three fingers back at us. We're going to extend on this very spiritual learning with the additional chakras that go much higher than that. And again, this reminds me of that dream I had a long time ago. I know I told you guys about it, about seeing the seven luminaries in the sky that looked like they were Earths, but they were translucent, and then I was standing on one. Were those in representation of the chakra system? I don't know, but I did go there. I do know that I was there for hours and hours, but in our TikTok time here, I was only gone 15 minutes. Some things are just confounding when we have those experiences. Okay, let me pull up the next image that I have for you. There we go. This is an image of, I actually had to stretch it. It is clouds. It's colorful rainbow clouds with a beautiful light beaming. And with this, you need to think of that as you. That is us. That is what we are meant to do. We are to express every color in the rainbow all the time and just have it flow. Tones, frequencies, vibrations, up and down, keeping every single one of the chakras open, vibrating, accessing them, keeping them clear. Because after all, the base chakra connects us to earth, and then the very top one connects us to the etheric realm. And through that, is the toroidal field that flows, again, I'm not trying to repeat myself, but it flows all around us all the time. There are people who can actually read auras and see them. And rainbow colors, a lot of times, seeing all different colors swirling about. Well, that would mean that that person is operating from clear chakra centers with no blockages whatsoever and flowing to their fullest potential. How beautiful is that, you guys? I have one more image that I want to share with you, and I'm going to actually come up on it so we can continue talking about this. Where is it? Da, 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 da. There it is. Okay. One moment, please. There we go. That's us. Let me find me now. Where'd I go? Oh, I love OBS. When we are operating from all of the different chakra, our chakras are clear. Look what the rainbow looks like. It looks like the rainbows that we see now out in the sky. Think of the rainbow that is out in the sky is a mirror reflection of yourself. What's going on within you is now reflecting out and around you. When you're seeing double or triple or light bending, where you're seeing the color on the opposite side of the light source, where is it coming from? Could it possibly be you? Could it possibly be your rainbow mirror reflection being shown to you, plain as day, manifesting for an affirmation that everything's clear and you're flowing? How beautiful is that? As I have mentioned earlier, like I said, I've got like 500 and something videos, and I know it's hard to go back and listen to each and every one of them. But when the gifts clicked on, Um, I felt special. I felt chosen. But I'm going to tell you, the portions that I had were nothing. I had a very small influence that was just barely around my body until I humbled myself. And when I humbled myself, I got to see more and more. And my sphere of influence grew and grew. And therefore, I can see in you your true identity, the beauty, the sovereignty, all that you have to offer, all that you're here to do, and all that we're here to teach one another. It's something that it's changed my life. It's absolutely changed my life. I see the divine spark in everybody's eyes, whether you're standing behind a checkout counter or at a gas station or doing your daily grind. That spark is in your eyes. Flashing a smile can make somebody's day. Just smile. And what we're going through now with the coverings of our face and things like that, I do feel that that is something that is creating like a pressure cooker type feeling. So much pressure that people are going to pop awake to the divinity within them. No longer creating a top down society, but creating a society that is good for all mankind, as we are the walking rainbows. You'll feel when yours open. You'll feel, an, I can speak from my own experiences that I felt like I was lifting off the ground. I felt so light and pure and such unconditional love. It was beyond my understanding. It was confounding. It was something I had never ever felt before in my life. The gifts are given to us without repentance. So understand that once gifts are unlocked within you, they're yours. They're yours to keep. Now, how much of a portion that you're going to get is completely up to us. It's completely up to us. What are we going to do with our gift? How are we going to behave? How are we going to treat others? What are we going to use it for? What happens when big tests come up? Are you going to lash out in anger, or are you going to walk away with forgiveness? A lot of people are still in identity crisis. Here comes the patience, guys. Knowing that we are each walking rainbows, which is a promise of the Almighty. The rainbow is the promise. You're a walking promise. And that once everything starts to just ignite and pop, 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 you're limitless. You're already operating in tools, just not aware of it. And the more aware of these things going on with you, the more focus that you can have, the more expression, the more putting it out around you and flowing in this. I have to say, I have been really, really humbled lately by generosity, the outpouring of love, support, and so much, so much. And how much I appreciate the counsel of others. I would consider them to be a council of elders, or a council of equals, or council of elders that knows that they are equals and therefore are going to give you a direct answer. So when I was, I was trying to just shoot just a quick thank you for the advice the other day. I got I'm a little late, and I apologize for that. But boy, did I get a beautiful story. Did I get a beautiful lesson about, such things, on how humility, they ended up serving the students. And then, of course, I'm sure they grew back into their power, but they had to be laid low in order to go back to the basics. And I replied back to this wonderful person, said, I've been in, when I was young, I was in restaurant management. But there was never a job that I would ask anybody to do that I wouldn't do myself. Let's say I gave the example that the dishwasher was who's to clean the restrooms that were for the, this was a full service restaurant that also had a buffet. It was a lot of work. It was a big restaurant. But if something happened in the bathroom and it was too much for them to bear, I was ready to go in there and do the job myself. I would have to be quick because I'd need to be taking care of the floor, but I would never ever ask anybody to do anything that I would not do myself, no matter what the job may be. Humility takes us a long way. So when the gifts pop open into your awareness, you start to learn mastery, gain knowledge, wisdom, gleaning. Please remember that everybody has these within them. We are all walking rainbows. It's just a matter of being aware of it. If you're not yet aware of it, that's what keeps me pressing out to put out this very information, to know yourself. Because the more of us that know ourselves, what we're able to do, what we're capable of doing here, we're limitless, and we can change this place overnight when enough of us know our true identity and what we're able to do. It's just absolutely beautiful. Let me look into the chat. And we've got Disintegral joined us, and a bit of Venom. Hello. And Voynich laughing at me. I so don't talk about my sleeping habits. I think there. Have you guys not really been chatting, or am I missing it? I don't know. I have a hard time on the black screen to be able to see the chat as well as the white screen. I'm on the white screen now. Yes, this is a person. This is a person, and look what's coming out of the person. It's like a little person is coming out of the person, like higher self or the spiritual realm, and it is a rainbow that is just bursting out of them, every color flowing in unison, using every single one. So let's not polarize. Let's utilize every tool in our toolbox to expand and grow. That's what we're here for. Now, back to my friend, the one that's in the UK. He's in the chat room now. He is actually, I could not stop watching his video that he shared. He has actually figured out how to capture the light language or the codes that are coming in through the Schumann resonance. Phenomenal awareness, phenomenal thing that he can share. And I'm going to tell you, when I was watching it for the longest time, I felt my heart expanding. And then, as it resonated through, then I was able to, watch and appreciate and listen what he was sharing and teaching and gleaning. So it was obviously some kind of light language, or if you believe in the Bible and you read your Bible, talks about how God will pour out his spirit on all flesh. No one direction of gnosis has the corner market on any of this. This is an everybody thing. It's not a one group or another. It's for all of us, no matter where you're at, no matter what. It's a beautiful understanding. And after getting the light code activations, as I was watching him, he was explaining them, and he was able to write a program and show them. You guys, it's profound, and I really, actually, you have a wrench. Would you mind putting your channel link in there so they can go and check out? It's about an hour long. And when you think he's done, just look, he's got a lot more to share, and he actually gets a little more clear on what he's talking about and sharing, and what you're looking at. I've never ever seen the Schumann put in quite a way, nor have I ever thought of it as being in such code as he has deciphered. He has what I call a magic window. He has always had what I call a magic window. Whenever I would be stressed, I'd click on his channel and I would view what he was taking. He would put his camera out there, and his skies would do phenomenal things. Very calming, very beautiful, very peaceful. He's stepping into much, much deeper and profound wisdom and knowledge to share with us all. And I do hope that you go and check it out for yourself, because the Schumann resonance seems to be going off the charts a lot of times. And somebody like this, he is an artist, number one, and has spent the time. And not only that, being a male and as spiritually as advanced and understanding the male paradigm as I do, because I was left brain. Being an accountant, I was very left brain. And men tend to be more left brain. But this man, I tell you, breaks all paradigms or any taboos by the things that he has unlocked within himself, the things that he operates on, within, and what he is able to share and show to all of us. So I do recommend that you guys all check that out. I want to keep this one nice and short. I appreciate everybody for coming. I know this one is a little earlier, but it's such a beautiful, and it's a simplistic, but it is important that we know that we don't need to try and do works to try to keep our vibrations high or things of that nature. It's meant to be like music, like every color of the rainbow. What we do, however, need to do is to keep our thoughts into captivity, as to do no harm as our gifts expand more and more, as your portions double, triple, quadruple. That's the last thing we would ever want to do. And I do think that a lot of the testings that we go through and how we deal with those things has to do with the portions. Can you be trusted with more? Can you? If you can, you will receive more. And once you receive more, it is without repentance. But if you're like those monks and get haughty, you will be laid low, and you will be the one serving the students and taking the commands from the students. Don't think that we cannot be chastened and we cannot be laid low. A haughty spirit, pride, ego, it will fall. And once that falls away and you realize the oneness we truly are, the walking beautiful rainbows, what else can you say? I mean, it's just off the charts. I know a lot of people think, chakras and things like that are taboo. I look at the chakra systems as us being the promise of God. So we all have our perspectives. If you're willing to accept it and research more into it and find peace with it, realize that you are a promise of God with every ability, gift, everything within you. We're just wanting to become aware of them, hone in on them, gain mastery on them. We're going to get into the gifts, the different gifts that I have, and that I've had for decades, that I've gotten some skill in to share to help somebody who may be just stepping into them. Does that make me better than you because I have more experience? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It does. We are all in this together. And how can you separate God from God? How can you separate the huge oneness that we are from the huge oneness that we are? Did you put your link in there, sweetie? Okay, great. I see it. Is that to your channel or just that video? You can, if you wouldn't mind putting both, that would be just really, really great. I couldn't even believe what I was seeing, you guys. And please give me feedback too. Give him feedback. and give me feedback on what you think. I know that he's going to deep dive more into this topic, as he is going to be gauging the Schumann and putting it through this program that he's written and discerning it. I just took in all the light language and then listened to how he did that, and my heart just went. So accept as much of it as you can. Never take more than you can handle. Remember, wherever we're at on our path is okay. We're always met where we're at, and we're moved along. There's no right or wrong to any of it. We are just growing, gleaning, and experiencing, learning from one another, because I grow and glean from each of you daily, as I just did when I just wanted to shoot him a quick message, and I ended up getting a beautiful analogy of humility. So understand who you are and what you have to offer, and how much we all appreciate one another. So guys, please give it a thumbsy upsy if you enjoyed the presentation. And like I said, I'm going to make this one a short one, but please do, if you have time, go over and check out his distant integrals, Schumann resonance codes that he captured, and tell me what you get from them. I'm interested in what you guys have to say about such a phenomena. Outstanding. And hopefully maybe he'll be willing to come on here and talk to us about what it is that he's learned and give us a demonstration. Because you know me, I'm always open to have people come on to help expand our awareness, for us to grow, glean, all of us, including myself. So with that said, oh, I did it. Oh, I did it again. I always push it down. Whoops, my bad. I love you guys so much. This one is, keeping it kind of short, but I just wanted to make sure that I got the message across. Be good to each other. You are loved so unconditionally. It's beyond measure. You're beautiful, you're divine, you're sovereign. Let's not trodden down each other. Let's lift each other up. Let's be peaceful and wrap our feet, shroud our feet in peace, wearing that belt of truth, and just gleaning, growing, expanding with our brothers and sisters. We're in this together, guys. Peace. Oh, I'm sorry. Always share what you know so we can listen and grow. Now, peace. I'll talk to you guys soon.